I forget what it was that he sent it to me on, because he had an Android. You know, I don't understand that shit. So yeah, it was on Android, so that's, you know, must be something to do with that. I really don't know. I'm not judging, I'm not asking, I'm not going to figure it out, because I'm sure it wasn't, I don't know, whatever. He's like, yeah, go for it. And then, you know, I said, go ahead and keep mine, I don't care. He's like, all right. And then he seen my lock screen at the time. It was you know, we're running down in Barrett's where we got rained on that day. Here's the cluster. We were running down in Barrett's and we had the limestone wall behind the crawlers. We're up just literally on top of the tracks. You know, we walked another 200 feet, I think it was, roughly, because obviously I don't know the exact amount of feet, but it was roughly 200 feet. The tracks would have been right there that run through Barrett's. And it's these tracks right here that I'm going to be crossing on the other side of Morrow. He's like, you guys run the RC crawlers? I was like, yeah. He's like, who's all in that? Whose trucks are what? And I showed him, I think I had it was either my K5, which is my black crawler, my all black one, or it might have been my K10, my blue one. You know, then I pointed out what ones are whose, and he's like, man, that's something I'd like to get into. I said, you'd have fun, but it's addictive and it's fucking expensive. Still there. I said it's an addictive hobby, it's a fun hobby, but it's also expensive. He's like, what do you mean by addictive and expensive? I said, depending on what you break or burn out, it could cost you just under 20, you know, a little bit under 25 bucks after tax, or it could cost you a few $100s. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, it costs you a few $100s, depending. Oh shit, I'm wandering over here. Yeah, they're still up at the pavilion. There's nobody at the park part, but what's the fucking deal with people waving there? It's clear that I'm not gonna wave. You know, he's like, well, can you help me find one? I was like, yeah, I can find one in under an hour, within an hour, if you want. I was like, well, are you on? Hey, I rode over it, sweet. Yeah, like, you want new or used? He'd like, new would probably be better, right? I was like, yeah, because then you can fill it in. You know, you can fill in for the warranty, and the warranty being your name. So if something catastrophically fails on the truck, you can send it back and be like, hey, this is blah blah, this is what happened, blah blah blah. You know, and I don't know how it all works because I never had to do it, thankfully. I both had to do it right after I bought the black crawler, the K5, because the fucking motor locked up. And I walked it back to the truck that had a Silverado, and I opened the tailgate to put it in the box, and I went like, wait a minute, and I backed it up and I moved it back forward. You know, I rolled it with it off. Hey, it's only 11:30. I'm back in my neighborhood. Sweet. You know, and I rolled it back a little bit and I moved it back forward by hand with the truck off. I freed it up. I'm like, okay, sweet. Went and drove it back down there. Dad's like, what the fuck is that I hear coming over the bridge? And I'm walking and I'm walking with the crawler, you know, driving that, and he's like, you got it fixed? I was like, yeah. I don't know what the fuck it was. It was like a little like piece of small like pea gravel or whatever stuck in the motor. And I got it free. He's like, really? No shit. I'm like, yeah. He's like, what'd you do? I'm like, when I got back to the truck, because I carried it to the truck. And I opened your tailgate, and he was like, yeah. And I said, you know how you got your bed liner on the inside of the tailgate, you know? He's like, yeah. I said, I left the truck off and I rolled it on the wheel, on all four wheels by hand. He's like, yeah. I backed it up, moved it forward, I broke it free. You know, and then I turned it on, and I turned it on like I was supposed to, remote first and then the truck, because that, you know, if you do the truck first and then the remote, it may cause truck to spaz out and lose control, and that's how you start breaking shit and burning shit up. So you turn the remote on first and then the truck. I tried my steering, like, okay, that works, you know, that's good. Obviously this light's not changing, so I don't know if I can go. People are driving, but see, it's a good thing I didn't go. Nice blue in that Nissan Frontier, or whatever that is. the Nissan though. And all of a sudden I went and tried to throttle forward and reverse. And then, yeah, it's the Frontier. And then, you know, I'm like, okay, it's working, sweet. I got it. You know, I was thinking, fuck, I'm gonna have to buy a new motor already, and I just spent fucking $600 on the goddamn truck. Nice blue in this Blazer too. Yeah, there was one that went through. Holy shit. You know, and I got it, and they're happy that I was able to get back out. Probably going to be busier than a motherfucker tonight. So he's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, we have, so I think at the time I only had maybe like 12 or 13, maybe 14, I'll forget. Use a real edge or his yard would look better.